So guys, welcome back to the channel to an absolutely freezing cold December morning. Today is the day the X6 gets to go to the body shop. There's been a few things, you know, since me buying the car that I've wanted to get done, a few modifications that I've wanted to get done as well. You guys may remember I bought a splitter for this thing. I'm going to explain now why that hasn't gone on. It's all going to go down today. I'm going to drop the car off at Terry's, get some body working done, but I'm going to go through the car and explain to you why this thing is going to the body shop, what's going on with it. Front bumper wise, I wanted to get it resprayed. Although it looks quite good in camera, there is a few imperfections, if we can find them. There's like a crack here, scratches there, some cracking in the paint and stuff, because this car did have a full respray back in the day. But yeah, I wanted to get the front bumper done because there is, you know, off camera a lot of little bits that are showing its age. I know it sounds silly, it's only a, you know, 09 plate this thing, but there is a lot of age related front bumper stress cracks, bits and bobs that I wanted to get done. So that was the first thing. The second thing was the splitter that I bought. I didn't explain in the last few videos, but the splitter was actually for a normal X6M front bumper. So obviously this being wide arch, so you have what we measured to be about an inch difference in the actual wide arches just here, meant that the front splitter didn't actually fit at all onto the car. Even though we cut it up and tried to make it work, it just didn't happen. So I've wanted to wait and then get Terry to cut it and sort of space it round, just so it looks a little bit more flush with the front end, because if we put it on, it just wouldn't look right. So that's what's happening with the front of the car. Now on the floor I have the rear spoiler from the X6, and if I can just show you there is a crack that has appeared on that side and some cracking around that side. Basically this thing had been bonded on and 2 screws put in it, but it wasn't secure enough. So I was actually driving one day and it started flapping. So I pulled that off before I went up to AET Motorsports, because I didn't want to obviously take it on a massive round trip and it fall off the back of the car. So going round to the back of the car, it has no spoiler on it at the moment, and as you can see, someone previously has put what looks to be wood screws through the actual metalwork to get this thing on the car, and it only had 2 bolts with not a lot of purchase area, let's say, on the spoiler, so it meant that it was always going to come off. This sort of sticky stuff as well that usually comes with spoilers just didn't do the job, so it was peeling off there and there, and both screws at the sides weren't really holding it down either, and the center screw hole didn't have a screw in it. So that meant the car was forcing the rear wing off, which is not a good thing. So I've actually opted for a different wing, which I'm going to show you. It's more of a ducktail, which I sort of prefer. It's going to go bolly coloured, but obviously with someone prior drilling through 3 times into the boot meant that this part is going to have to be resprayed as well, which isn't a bad thing because I want to get parts resprayed on this car. But that wing is going in the bin because it's cracked in half, and most of the bottom of it is still on the car, snapped off. Bad times. But we're going to get on to Terry's. Really excited today. I really want to see how this front bumper and the splitter works with that rear flick up wing, but I'll show you it all. Very exciting day. So we've made it to Terry's. Hello mate, how's it going? Right? This is the plan though. Ducktail spoiler on the back. That looks sick, doesn't it? I like that a lot more than the other one.
10 times better.
There's just a lot of reminiscence of the other one. Sat like, look how bad that is. So yeah, that's the sort of general gist to the back of the car. And as you can see, I have the splitter. We'll do a swap. I'll show you how out this is and how much work is probably going to have to be done to actually put this thing on. It's going to look so good, but yeah, this is how much it's out. Look how out that is. So the car is actually 1 inch each side, I'd say, of the splitter, which is really bad, but oh my god, that's going to look so good with the rear wing on it. But I'm going to leave the car, the wing, the splitter, and all of the professional work down to Terry, TW Body Repairs, because that's just legend, mate, and it's going to look so good when I pick it up. I'm so excited. So we'll leave it in capable hands, mate. Definitely. Okay guys, so it's a week down the line. I'm here to pick up the X6. Super happy with the job. I'm going to take you around the car, show you what did happen, what didn't happen, and all the little bits and bobs that I've got done to the X6. I am so happy with how it's come out. So as said in the last video, I got the front completely resprayed because it was really badly stone chipped. There was a lot of imperfections in this front bumper. Unfortunately, this is not an original X6M front bumper, so it had a lot of cracks. It had some hairline stuff. I think someone previous to me had actually hit something like a pole or something like that, so there was a huge hairline crack just going down there. There was a lot of cracking behind the actual number plate as well. You had cracking all the way up the side, this side, and a hairline one going up. And as you can see, Terry has done a fantastic job at completely cutting back the whole of the bumper, getting everything sort of buttoned up with the cracks and the hairline and all that, and then matching the color as well. Done a fantastic job. I really appreciate a nice clean front end, because this is the first thing you'll ever see seeing any car. So this was really one of those things. Every time I used to walk up to it, I used to look at it and go, God, that front end looks crap. I can see a crack there and this and that and that. So really happy with that. Also, just to see if I liked it or not, I actually took out the black part that's just here. This was usually completely gloss black. I'm not sure if I like it at the moment. I do with the white wheels, but the white wheels are not staying there literally for winter wheels. I know a lot of people, again, don't like white wheels, and personally I'm not really much of a fan. They're a nightmare to keep clean, but I just wanted to see what it looked like, because I quite liked uniforming the car, taking the black out for the minute and just completely whiting it out. Now let's talk about why the splitter is not on the front of the car. Absolute bloody nightmare. So what I'd bought and I'd showed you in this video was a eBay front splitter for an X6M. Now this is not an original bumper, and again, that was not an original part, so I knew there was going to be some sort of problems, let's say, with actually getting it on. But as I pointed out in a few videos ago, this wide arch is an inch wider each side, and because it's been blended in, there was no way of us actually cutting the splitter and getting it wider than it should have been. Reality was, we cut it up, and I sort of said to him, at the end of the day, I like the middle, it looks really good. When we sort of masked it up and put it on, I liked it, but there was no way of us bringing it out here because it sort of caps round. This meant that I said, do you know what, leave it for a minute, because I've got another idea for the front end that I want to sort of try and pull off, which will include bringing these down a little bit more. If anybody knows of the E46s, you can get sort of a black splitter sort of thing that goes here. I want us to do the same sort of thing here, and then include that centre part in at a later date. So that meant that I can sort of go ahead with the second sort of idea I had for this front end. But if there is anyone out there that knows of any sort of canardy big things that would fit on the bottom of here, please leave links below, all that sort of stuff. Or if you have any other ideas for this front end, I just want to give it a bit more aggression at the end of the day. And unfortunately, anything I buy off eBay obviously is terrible, but the original X6M splitters are about £1,600, and there is no way I'm going to be paying £1,600 for it. Unfortunately, I don't have a infinity amount of money, and I don't want to put a carbon fibre splitter on the front of this thing. It's £1,600 for the splitter, so that's why I went cheap. I decided, you know, let's have a chance and see what the eBay stuff is like. It's pretty bloody terrible. But coming to the rear end, the bit that I really wanted to get done, because the original Hammond spoiler that was on here was in fact cracked in half at the sides, as I did show you in the last one, with wood screws on it. So pretty bad placement, and longevity of the spoiler wasn't there, obviously. Although this car had been done quite a long time ago now, still didn't fill me with a lot of confidence with the spoiler. So I went for a ducktail spoiler, which I have to agree looks so much better. I personally think you guys would agree as well. It looks a lot better, completely whiting the car out again at the back of it. And I really like the look of it. It's sort of, it's not JDM or anything, but I wanted it to be just a bit different. And I hadn't seen this spoiler on any other X6. So I wanted to go a little bit different and clean it up as well. I think cleaning up the back end was the sort of plan with changing the spoiler and changing the colour. I think it's made the back end look a little bit more sleek, a little bit longer and lower as well in a weird way. The other spoiler came right round to the sides, and I always looked at it and it looked really out of place, especially it was like satin matte black as well. I just wasn't that much of a fan of it. So when I did see this spoiler, I really wanted to go ahead and see what it was like, whiten it out as well, not, you know, spraying it black like the last one was. And I have to say, from this angle, I'm so much happier with the truck. It looks so much better. And again, as you guys know, this is just a daily driver for me. Yes, it's a promotional tool as well. I want it to look as good as possible. I take it to the shows, all that sort of stuff. So when it came time to start altering stuff, really wanted to go ahead and change it up as much as I could. I haven't seen an X6 with this spoiler, and I must admit, side profile and stuff, really happy with it. Again, massive thank you to TW Body Repairs on the Isle of Wight. If you ever need anything done to your cars, this is the place to come. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys.